For my first proper ground hopping video on this channel, we are going to Rayleigh Town versus Southend Manor. Rayleigh are currently ground sharing with Concord Rangers, so this will be held at the Thames Road Stadium in Canvey Island. This is an Eastern Counties Division 1 South game, so it will be the 10th tier of English football. As you can see from the table, Rayleigh are doing good in the hunt for a playoff place, and Southend unfortunately are lingering down the bottom of the table in a relegation battle. Back to the ground, I had my chips in hand and was taking in the views. There was some questionable music in the build-up. Unfortunately, there was some Taylor Swift, but they managed to save themselves in the end with some Fleetwood Mac right before kick-off. I'm now sat on the opposite side of the ground. This ground has two really good stands with some proper old school terraces behind each goal. The players are ready and the match is about to begin, and just listen to the absolute racket the home crowd make at kick-off. Yeah, it's not really great, is it? And of course, with all that atmosphere going on, I missed the first goal and didn't get it on camera, but it's 1-0 to Rayleigh.
First goal for Rayleigh Town was number 18, Benny Biazamore.
In all fairness, the attendance really wasn't that bad for this level. I think there was about 100 people, which is kind of on average for Rayleigh this season. I just love this kind of old school terrace behind the goal. And I'm glad I moved here because I was just in time for the second goal for Rayleigh to make it 2-0. It was a quality header, to be fair. There were more half chances for Rayleigh as the half drew on, and Southend had a corner right at the end which kind of summed up their half. They were pretty useless, to be fair. So that was half time, so that's time for me to look at the match day programme. Unfortunately, there wasn't a physical copy of the programme, but to be fair, at step 10, I'll take a digital copy. And these were the ticket prices for anyone that's interested. I mean, it's nothing really, is it £5 for a game of football? I think it's actually the cheapest game I've ever been to watch. This is Rayleigh's first season in the 10th tier after being promoted from the Essex Olympian League last year, which was step 11. And you can see from their list of games, they've actually done quite well for attendances, always kind of hovering around the 100 mark. We're now at the opposite terrace behind the other goal, and I managed to get myself a nice pint at half-time from the clubhouse as well. Didn't manage to film anything in there, but it was a nice clubhouse. The striker was absolutely fuming with himself there, missing that chance. I don't know how I managed to do this as well, but I found the only obstructed view in an empty ground, but it had a place for my pint, so I didn't really care. I mean, this is a really nice ground for this level, but I did kind of expect it, given that it's home to Concord Rangers, who not that long ago were a National League South side. Rayleigh did used to play in Rayleigh, back in the day at King George's Park, and then more recently at London Road. I think after they got promoted from the Olympian League, I don't think their ground met the regulations, so now they're having to ground share. But I'm sure they'll be looking to move back to Rayleigh at some point in the future. But for now, this is definitely doing the job. Apart from that chance, there was very little to talk about in the second half. It was pretty rubbish, to be honest. Southend did come back into it a little bit towards the end, but Rayleigh ended up winning 2-0, and I was on my way home. And That win kept Rayleigh firmly in the playoff places with a chance of back-to-back promotions, and unfortunately plunged Southend Manor closer towards the relegation zone. Had an awful time with a couple of relegations in recent years, so I hope they don't get relegated again. Now onto the rankings for the Thames Road Stadium, and first off, aesthetics. And I know this ground won't be to everyone's liking, but this is really up my alley. I love a proper old school non-league ground. I love the stands and the two old school terraces, and I managed to get these really nice photos, so it goes as a 20 out of 30 in my book. For the level, I think it's really good. Facilities wise, it had a really nice clubhouse, it had good food, not many options though. It did have an online program, loads of sheltered seating. I mean, again, for this level, it's really good. Another 20 out of 30. Now, atmosphere, I know I joked that it was a bit flat at times, and it was, but you don't really expect an atmosphere at the 10th tier, and it was good at times. There was some beef between the fans as well, which made it a bit more interesting. So again, for the level, I'll give it an 8 out of 20. Costs, straightforward, 10 out of 10. Anything that's £5, I'll be giving a 10. That's nothing for a football match. And location, I like that it was in the town. It's quite a nice surrounding area. It was a little bit out of the way and not the most parking in the world, so we'll give it a solid 9 out of 10. That gives the Thames Road Stadium a total of 67 out of 100, and it's firmly around the middle of the 21 grounds I've been to so far on the league table. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll be at more grounds soon, so please subscribe if you like what you saw, and there'll also be links to my Instagram and Blue Sky in the description. See you next time on the Groundhopper Diaries.